Welcome to Conversations Sin Miedo, a podcast where we break the stigma around mental health in the Hispanic community. I'm Sonia, and this is a safe space for open, honest conversations. Whether you're first generation, navigating cultural challenges, or just looking for a place to feel heard, we're here to talk about it all sin miedo y con corazón. Join me as we share stories, answer your questions, and create a community where vulnerability is celebrated. Let's start the conversation. It's been a while. Okay, should I do a real intro? Welcome to Conversations Sin Miedo. It's been a while. It's March. No, it's April. Like, the time has flew by, and I missed all of you. Yeah, I had a lot of ideas for the podcast, and then I wanted to, um, I was like, yeah, I want to do this, I want to do that, and then ADHD, I'm like procrastinating, and then like a month goes by, and I'm like, oh my god, like I need to get it together. So in my other podcasts, there were times where, well, a lot of people too have mentioned like, is there books? Is there um, resources or something I could look into? And that's kind of what I want to do today. So let me pull up my notes because I need to get organized. So that's what I want to talk about today. Um, I do like to read. I um I like spicy books, not books, but I actually do. I don't know why I could read I think the biggest book I read was like 600 pages, but in school, if you give me like a thin book that's like 50 pages of the history of blah, 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 I will not, I will read it, but I won't pay attention to it, So I'm like, yeah, I'm just the type of person that has to be good, it has to be interesting. So this episode today is going to be about a book that when I read the title, I was like, oh, okay, yeah, this is this is it caught my attention, and it's a pretty short book. It's literally pretty thin, and I um I want to say I'm a gym girly, but when I go to the gym, um I read it. Like I read it um on Kindle, and like I swipe on my phone, whatever. So I read it, and funny enough, when I read it, like I take screenshots, and I'm like, when I read it, I was like, oh, is this play about us? Like, is this me? And oh, let me see if I have my screenshots here. So I have so many screenshots from this book, like kind of like I didn't have a highlighter because it's on Kindle, and I was at the gym, so I couldn't really stop and highlight or whatever. But I um have like things saved from this book that I thought were so interesting. But in this episode today, I want to talk about this book and just have like some key main points. So, it's not really a spoiler or nothing, but I want to talk about it. So, let me read the title: Adult Children of Emotionally Immature Parents: How to Heal from Distant, Rejecting, or Self-Involved Parents. This isn't to point fingers or blame people or blame your parents or nobody. This is just like um a lot of viewers and a lot, I don't know, people my age are adults. We're over 18, whatever. Um we I guess I don't want to point the finger like my parents did this is why the way I am or whatever. Like it's kind of just like a reflection of you, and like when I was reading I was like, man, I do this, like why do I do it? Because it's this and this. So it's just kind of a reflection for you. So yes, it's a good title. So it's not necessarily like um when I read this book, I was like, I'm not trying to be mean to my parents. Like this isn't to blame them for anything or like nothing like that, but this was talking about how sometimes things that they do or even other people in your life that you tend to realize like, oh, I'm letting these people treat me a certain way, then and they shouldn't. So on the back it says, was your parent difficult, immature or emotionally unavailable? And so it's a clinical psychologist that wrote this book, and there she has so many like different types of books that are kind of similar, but I am actually doing a giveaway for this book. So I just bought it on Amazon. It's brand new smell. Um and I want to do a giveaway. So I want to talk about it today just to kind of break down the books and about what the book was, and like like I said, important things that stood out to me. And so, if you're not a reader, you're like, no, I'm not gonna read this book. Um, you could do my giveaway and you could get it and read it on your own, take notes, whatever. But yeah, I want to read it today, and kind of want to go back. So when I first started reading it, let me find my screenshots. I had um I screenshot everything, I swear. I had so many. Again, I should have organized these, but it's okay. It's okay. Nobody's perfect. It's fine. But like I said, I didn't really like. I think it took me a couple months to finish the book. It's not a long book, but it is pretty. Like, it is, the title's interesting, and like I said, it's something that um caught my attention. And so let me just go through the book, and then I'll point out like the key points that I really liked. So, um in this book, they kind of break it down of like what this means. Um like what is emotionally immature parents. So, um again, this is not to, I don't know, I'm always the type of person will like look at it both sides. Like there's two sides to every story, I guess. So, um when I say emotionally immature parents, it's, everyone has their own experience. And even like I've talked about this before, even siblings that live in the same house have different experiences. Like, oh, I had a great childhood, or no, it actually sucked for me. So again, it's everyone's point of view and own opinion. But so it just seeing how it's just about exploring how these emotionally mature parents, I don't want to acronym, I was going to say EIPs, but I'll just say all these big words, affect their children's mental health and relationships, and how you could break these cycles. Okay, so bear with me. Let's get into it. So pretty much, what does this matter? obviously in the Hispanic community and even other cultures, and I think most families, that emotional expression and validations are often overlooked in favor of like survival and duty. So it's like if you're the oldest siblings, it's like I need to push me what I need to the side. For my younger siblings or my parents, I have to be the grown up in this situation, or I um couldn't be selfish. I can't be the type of person or be the person in my family for other people to worry about. And I don't know why my heart's beating so fast. Um, so yeah, there's different types of um, situations people might have had, or maybe like their parent was not maybe physically abusive, but also emotionally neglectful. So pretty much, so some key traits of emotionally immature parents. So emotionally self-absorbed. So they're more focused on their own needs than their children. They reject emotional depth, so avoid deep conversations and shut down expressions of feelings. So um, a lot comes to mind, but it's like this space isn't for you. This isn't to talk about how you feel, sort of thing. And lack of empathy. So just sort of like invalidating someone's emotions or dismissing emotions. And then kind of like unpredictable reactions. So in the book, it's really good because she has um, like people's story. So Molly's story, how um, her mom was short tempered, worked long hours. She would come home in a bad mood. She was um, Molly was her siblings left in her siblings' care pretty much, like, hey, you gotta take care of your siblings. So it was a lot of rocky relationships and the like her story she talked about. So I really liked the book because she talked about what like the first chapter, like how this impacts children, like story or situation from a client she had, and it just makes sense. So yeah, passive. So again, those types of emotional mature parents also is like emotional parents too, so like maybe overwhelmed by their emotions. Driven parents that are obsessed with achievement, pushing their child to meet unrealistic expectations. Passive parents, detached and avoidant, leaving their child emotionally unsupportive, and then rejecting parents dismissive, critical, or outright neglectful. So a parent who might provide you with everything, like financially, but they don't really ask how you're feeling or dismiss your emotions. Like, don't be dramatic, don't be a crybaby, don't feel, be like emotionless, pretty much. So I I kind of broke down the book, and like I said, reading it, it really just makes it, I don't know, I feel like you connect to it more. But like I said, no spoilers, but I don't know. I'm just gonna go through it. So um it does have a lasting impact on adult children. So when these children become adults. So chronic self-doubt. So if you're always second guessing decisions, due to lack of emotional validation, people pleasing tendencies, so prioritizing others' needs to avoid conflict or rejection, fear of emotional intimacy, so struggling to connect deeply due to past invalidation, emotional suppression, so difficulty expressing emotions leading to stress and anxiety. It's so funny reading these because it's like, oh yeah, check, check, yep, yep, same, same. Okay. So it's like I said, um it's not to point fingers or to blame, it's just kind of to reflect and to see like, oh yeah, wow, this connect the dots makes sense. So again, like an example, feeling guilty for saying no because you were raised to put others before yourself. Like, hey, can you do me this favor? And you're just like, well, I don't want to say no. I don't want them to feel bad, or I don't want to upset them, or whatever. It could be tied to that. So, navigating family dynamics and breaking the cycle. So, it's kind of hard to confront this in Hispanic families or even just any family. So, it is cultural expectations of being loyal to your family. Like, I don't know, like what happens in this house stays in this house, I guess, sort of thing. But also just like that, um, what's it called? Like, this is your family, no matter what, they are your blood, and blood's thicker than water type of thing. And you have to, um, like forgive them for everything sort of thing. And you have to, like, you can't be mad at them because that's your family, and that's hard too because you can be angry, you could be sad, you could be scared, you could have any emotion no matter who it is or whatever um relationship you have with that person. um Also hard is having guilt for setting emotional boundaries. So, again, a boundary is like a limit. And like, what's an example? So, just like a boundary you have, like, please don't um, share my business on social media, or um, don't do this thing because I don't want you to, sort of thing. And they're like, they do it, and they're, crossing your boundary. They're crossing that limit. Boundaries can be like anything, like a physical boundary or an emotional boundary. Like, um, I don't know, like my cat passed away. I don't want to tell anyone right now. I just want to be myself, whatever. And then that person that you told tells other people, and they're like, oh, it's like, I saw this TikTok, and uh, on TikTok, it was saying how people don't respect your boundaries because they don't respect you. Like, they don't, like, that boundary is not good for them. Like, it doesn't um, help them, so they don't want to follow it. So it's like, for example, if you say, like, hey, I can't give you a ride to work every day because it makes me late, sorry, like, that's my boundary. And they're like, no, you have to take me to work because then I can't get to work, sort of thing. I hope that's a good example. But a boundary like that, of, I'm not going to follow this because it affects me, and I don't want you to put this boundary because, yeah, it um isn't benefiting me. That's the word. Okay. So again, another label, like being labeled like selfish for prioritizing your mental health. Um, so you can protect your energy without sort of cutting those ties, but you have to have this emotional detachment and sort of accept parents as like they are, accept parents as they are without expecting change. So, for example, I mean, like, my mom asked me for her Facebook password. This is your Facebook. Yes, I made it for you, but it's your Facebook. Okay, what's my password? It's your Facebook. Things like that, that I'm like, I um was asking my mom for her password for her Sam's Club membership. Sorry, Sam's Club, we were using it, not anymore. Don't ban me. And well, she was sharing it with me, and I had to re-log in or whatever. And I was like, "Hey, mom, I need your password. Can you send it to me? I'm literally at Sam's. My cart's full. Cart is full. Gas is running. Blah blah blah." And she's like, "I don't know it." I said, "Okay." I clicked, don't know password or forgot password. Can you change it? And she's like, "I can't right now," or I don't know. I mean, there's a lot going on that day. I understand, but um, I I don't know. I sort of have this kind of like, I guess, epiphany. I mean, my mom doesn't watch my podcast. Hopefully, no one tell her, but she'll be fine. I've told her already. But I'm like, okay, I can't rely on you for your passwords. Clearly, I can't rely on you for this. So I need to stop putting my. I mean, I'm like, this is about Samsung. Okay, but still, it's like this situation. I can't rely on you. So yeah, I have to um, stop putting myself in the situation to rely on you because I can't, you know? And yeah, something is like a password or, it's, we won't get into that, but yeah, like sort of things like that. I'm like, okay, gotta accept my mom's not got a password. She can't, like, I don't know why. I mean, yeah, it's bad to use the same password, but if you're going to change your password, capitalize it, add a number. Don't make another random word that pops into your head. So, anyways, so set clear communication boundaries and just shift your mindset. Like you can love them without overextending yourself, without like, there was another situation where someone spent like $600 worth of Christmas gifts for their family, and they wanted um um like a vlog camera or something. Like it was kind of pricey, like a couple $100. And they, I mean, it's kind of hard because when sometimes when you buy a gift for someone, it's better to give than to receive. But it's like, um their family didn't exactly put the same effort, and then this person really wanted this camera, excuse me, this vlogging video thing. What is that called? Like the Osmo something, whatever. And they were like, "Well, I'm not buying you that camera. That's so expensive." But then they spent literally like $700 on their family. So it's like, um, I don't know. It's just like things like that where you can't, I don't know, expect people to change or expect them to see it differently how you see it, sort of thing. And yeah, you can love them without extending yourself. So, for example, you could say, like, when your family pushes that guilt or says, like, if you set a boundary, like, okay, I hear you, but I need to do what's best for me. I am, no is a full sentence sort of thing. Um, So another part is healing the inner child, and this is, I feel like I've seen it in a lot of podcasts that I would watch. Um and it is not the hair. Um it is like, even as a therapist too, I have older clients, I guess, like adults, or I don't know, young adults that um I feel like a lot of work or a lot of um, achievement has been through healing your inner child. So it's kind of like reparenting yourself. So reparenting is like giving yourself the validation and emotional security you lacked growing up, learning self compassion and breaking negative self talk patterns. So this is something that oh, and I think I screenshotted it. I'm not gonna I'll look for it, but it was like um I like stopped myself from invalidating my own self. And it was it was like a, you know, people use humor as a way to cope with hard things or trauma or whatever. So like I kind of stopped myself. I was like, oh, I shouldn't I grew up with that invalidation. I'm like, why am I still doing it? Why am I doing it to myself? Like, well, like earlier I was like, oh, I go to the gym person. See, like I'm like, oh, I don't wanna, I don't know, like I think even maybe it's a woman thing too. Like you're just like, oh, I'm going to the gym, working on myself, and people will like, I don't know, think like, oh, you're just going for looks or whatever, you know. So it's like sort of that invalidation. Like I um do it first before someone else will, sort of thing. But it's like um why am I being so mean to myself? Like to my own self, you know? So it's kind of like even little things like that, like it kind of gets to me too. Like, let me say like again, trying to break that, just those little things. Um, so yeah, learning self-compassion, even trying to find actionable steps for healing. Again, throwing in therapy, love therapy, finding a support group. I honestly like, so at my job, if you're in the area, I can start a group and I really think I might start one. So please support me, y'all. If you want, like, if you think of a good idea for a group, I would love to do one. I'm licensed in Nebraska, in the state of Nebraska, so you know, slide into the DMs, let me know. Journaling is something that is like, I guess I wish I was the type of girl, you know, open my little book, write pretty. I don't write good. So I would jot down in my notes and just kind of let those words out. Um, Something that is helpful is like writing a letter to your younger self, validating their feelings and just having that time to, like, that space to talk to yourself and talk to, you know, your younger self. Self-soothing techniques, so practicing emotion regulation through mindfulness, affirmations, self-validation, so speaking to yourself with kindness. I It's so bad, I'm so sorry, but I saw on TikTok um this therapist, and I need to start like sharing links or whatever, but I'll post it on my Facebook on the um page. But she did, I think it's kind of like a butterfly, so she put her thumbs together and she just um kind of like a emotion, is it emotion regulation, there's so many words, pretty much to help soothe you. But you tap your hands for like a minute or 2 to 3 minutes and just tap, and that could really just sort of regulate your body. I'm gonna start trying that because I feel like a lot of other things don't help me. So the last part, how emotionally immature parents affect adult relationships. So some common relationship patterns, like seeking emotionally unavailable partners, struggling with trust and intimacy, avoiding confrontation due to fear of rejection. So, most of us are adults, and having an adult relationship, romantic relationship, um, I guess, it's kind of hard to find that, um, I guess, find that trust in someone you don't know, like someone, I don't know, outside your family, or maybe you just met them, I don't know, sort of thing. But like, I I think it's something that I've seen too, that, you know, again, this can show up in your relationships as an adult, and it can cause fights, or whatever, or ruin a good relationship. And so even when you start your romantic relationship, it might show up in these little things of like arguments, or like fights, or trying to sort of fall back into that sort of thing of like, I have to take care of other people, I have to be a people pleaser, sort of thing. And it's like those negative, unhealthy, um what is it, um unhealthy routine. God, I can't think of the word. um Unhealthy cycle that you're used to, that you do. So trying to break, oh, and it's in friendships and in romantic relationships. So breaking those cycles in in those sort of relationships is learning to set and enforce healthy boundaries, recognizing red flags in emotional unhealthy people. Let me say that again. I'm so sorry. Recognizing red flags in emotionally unhealthy people. I think this is such a thing that girlies do, of trying to, again, fall into that thing of, I can fix him. I've done it before, sort of thing. And it's not your job. You can't. My therapist, we talked about this. I always bring her up. Shout out to you, girl. But what do I say? I don't know if I brought it up in my last podcast. God, I can't remember. But in with my husband, I'm like, okay, this is his world experience, or no, this is his worldview, not mine. Whatever it looks like it could be with buying groceries, or like, I guess it's not like we have to agree on the same thing, but it's like, okay, I can't force him to change in a way. Like, I can't force him to change in a way I think is best for him. He's an adult. He is capable of doing that for himself. Yes, there's people out there that don't have that emotional capacity as you, but you can't do it for them. I don't want to compare it to addiction, but okay, so it's like, you can't force someone to seek help, or force someone to change. Like, they have to do it for themselves. It has to be, I don't know, their authentic, unique choice. Even something simple as like eating healthier, exercising. You can't really force that on people. They have to sort of find that, um, I don't know, sort of determination in themselves. I don't know if that's the right word. So, um, yeah. So, recognizing red flags in emotionally unhealthy people, allowing yourself to receive love without fear. It's, um, yeah, it is scary. And I am, I guess, like a romantic. Like, I think love is important, and just understanding that, um, loving yourself first is very important because like all we've talked about, if you can't love yourself and understand like, okay, this is not how I love myself, it's this way, seeing how your partner or your friendship, how they can love you, like how to know the difference of that, you know. So yeah, I think pretty much cover. Oh, let me try to find my quotes that I really liked. I won't get all of them, but just a few. So when I first started reading this, um, there were some screenshots that I took of the book that just really stood out to me. So this first one, it just popped up. I don't know what page it was on, but your parents have lived through very difficult childhood experiences. Their relationships with their own children were secure since they had spent time thinking about and integrating their childhood experiences and were at ease with both the negative and positive aspects of the past. It's easy to imagine why children with such parents showed secure attachment. These parents were not avoiding reality because they had addressed their own past. They were fully available to connect with their children and form a secure attachment. So I think this was the part in the book where they were talking about how those parents that like pretty much got their shit together and are emotionally have a secure attachment, how they don't avoid that reality, aren't scared of um, changing for the better, sort of thing. How it made such a difference um, in their child's life. What else? Okay, I'm like, I don't want to read the whole thing. There was some, I had a lot. Where is it? I know I had them on my phone, but my phone's recording, so let me see. So it just had a lot of good quotes that, again, when I read it, I was like, wow, is this about me? Um, so this paragraph, it was childhood loneliness beneath adult success. Parental rejection doesn't always result in low self confidence. Some intelligent, resilient people somehow manifest the confidence to pursue good careers and reach high levels of achievement. Many find emotionally mature partners, enjoy satisfying long term relationships, and create close families of their own. But despite their emotional needs being met in current relationships, the lingering trauma of childhood loneliness may haunt them in other ways through anxiety, depression, or bad dreams. So I remember when I read that, I was like, you could have it all together, but you can't avoid that inner sort of thinking, like that inner work that needs to be done. Like you can't outgrow it. And yeah, it feels like, okay, I'm old enough, blah blah blah. But no, you can't avoid it. Okay, here it is. I found them. Oh, I don't want to read all of them. Okay, so this was saying how when we're talking about boundaries, emotionally mature people respect your boundaries. So emotionally mature people are innately courteous because they naturally honor boundaries. They're looking for connection and closeness, not intrusion. For emotionally immature people, on the other hand, getting close to someone often leads to taking the person for granted. They seem to think closeness means manners don't matter. So again, um, emotionally mature people will respect your individuality. They never assume that if you love them, you'll want the same things they do. Instead, they take your feelings and boundaries into account in any interaction. Um, okay. This one, there's just so many good ones. Let me pick one and then okay. So the catch is that this can only happen if you've truly relinquished the need. So it's talking about the parent side. Truly relinquish the need for deep relationship with them, your parents, and it may not happen even then. But if you could stay true to yourself, detach emotionally, and interact without exceptions, you'll be less likely to trigger your parents' defenses against intimacy. And by giving up your healing fantasy about changing your parents, you let them be who they are. When they're no longer under pressure to change, they may be able to treat you differently or not. Your job is to be okay either way. Oh, deep. Um okay, last one. So, it's important to relinquish the belief that if your parents loved you, they'd understand you. As an independent adult, you can function without their understanding. You may not ever have the kind of relationship you wanted with your parents, but you can make each interaction with them more satisfying for you. You can speak up politely when you feel like it and be different without offering excuses. By expressing yourself to your parents in this way, you could be authentic even in the absence of their understanding. The point of expressing your feelings is to be true to yourself, not to change your parents. And there's always the likelihood that they can still love you even if they don't get you at all. Oh, there's so many. Uh okay, I won't read anymore. But it's just really good. So again, you can get your very own copy um in my giveaway that I'm doing. So I'm going to share it on Facebook and social media and all that. So again, some final thoughts. So healing is a journey. It's not a destination. It's not a race or whatever. You deserve to be heard and validated and loved in all your relationships. So, a little homework, I guess, or a little question for you. What small step can you take today to nurture your inner child? So, um, I would love to hear from you guys, or even talking to your friends, or send me a message of what you do um, with that question. But again, this is a book by Lindsay Gibson. So she has a lot of other books, and she has a workbook too. And then, you know, you, I don't think I mean, it's not that expensive. You could buy it, but you could try to win it on your own or win the giveaway. But yeah, there's a lot of books that I think the next one I really want to do is why can't I think of her name? Mel Robbins? Um she has the let them theory. I think I might do that one next. Maybe I could buy the book and do another giveaway and talk about it, but I want to read it first. But again, like I said, um yeah, do that small step for yourself in your inner child, and I appreciate your time and listening. I I promise I'll try to post more, but I have a lot of exciting guests coming on soon, and so that takes time to plan. But yeah, make sure to share this episode and um, join my giveaway and take care of yourselves. And thanks again. Bye.